Hello, this is Mr. Evilcheese.
Hello, Bubba.
This is our review of, can you guess? Zombie Cat? Because I didn't even tell you what we're
reviewing. A big old pile of poop.
No, I don't review poop.
A big old pile of boogers?
No!
A toy?
Yes. But which toy?
Probably a Walking Dead toy.
Yep.
Is it Rick?
Yep.
Okay.
This is our review of the Threezero Walking Dead 6th scale Rick Grimes action figure. Dun, 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 dun. And he's got spider legs coming out of his head. Red spider legs. So let's take a look at the box, which is kind of difficult to do because it's glaring really bad. But yeah, there's a nice picture of Rick on the front there. I don't know what season it is. 4, I think, maybe? 3 or 4, something like that. Maybe 5. I think it's probably 4.
You have no fucking idea.
I know. And you can see it says Rick Grimes on the side, and there's like some black splatter. In the back, there's a picture of Rick. It says The Walking Dead AMC, blah blah blah, boring shit. But it's a cool picture. Oh yeah, you can see that it says, where does it? It says Rick Grimes in there. You gotta move around the light to see it. And I didn't even know this. I opened them up and messed with them already and didn't even realize at the time that there was a door on this because it's hard to see. But then you open up and there's Rick Grimes there in white. And then you got Rick pooping in his pants. He forgot to pull his pants down. Started pooping on in the heavenly light. He's like, oh, heavenly light from the heavens. I'm just going to shit on it for all the crap you guys put me through. And it says survive by shitting in your pants. And there you can see Rick in there covered in plastic, being suffocated. But yeah, the box is pretty cool. Just Threezero up there with their cool looking little gas mask symbol or whatever that is. Well, let's take him out of the packages. The package. There he's got some plastic still on him. But on the back here, he's got his weapons in there. All sealed up. Not all of his weapons. They already got his machete in his sheath and his revolver in his holster already. Already.
He looks like a dead body that they like bagged his head in it. Hands for evidence to transport him back to the lab.
He's so stiff they can actually just stand him up. So there he is, opened up. And look at his long legs. He's got some long legs.
He's got some gams.
Gams. Now the pants look nice, but his legs are just so damn long. Now, this is a figure that when I first seen the preview pictures, I thought, I don't think I like the face sculpt all that much. I don't think it looks as much like him as I would like compared to Threezero's other figures. And then I seen pictures later and I'm like, it still don't look very good. And then some people got them and posted pictures of them. I'm like, but they all said, you know, it looks better in person. So I'm like, well, I'll get it. And I think it looks just like those original pictures. I don't think it looks enough like them compared to Threezero's other figures that I've gotten. Like Tyrion and Jon Snow, I think they look pretty much exact, but not this one.
His face is too wide.
Yeah, that's the problem. And I was thinking it's because they put the beard on him, and the beard is what's making his face stick out, but it doesn't look like his beard's thick. It looks like it's thin on his face. I think that's a thick beard. It was just supposed to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks like a thin beard with a big face instead of a thin face with a big beard.
Right. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
I don't know.
And they put his wrinkles on where they're supposed to be, but I think they made them too deep or something because it just makes him look really old. He looks like an old man. And Rick does have wrinkles, but they're just, I don't know, he just looks old. He looks like Clint Eastwood. When
he does look very Clint Eastwood.
I mean, that's because he's squinting, but still, like, Clint Eastwood has some really deep wrinkles. Like, I'm thinking of, like, Dirty Harry days, and when he's older. This just makes Rick look old. I mean, it's still very realistic.
It's a really good face. It just doesn't look like him.
Yeah. And I was messing around with them, and you get him in a certain light, certain angles, it does look a lot like him, like Andrew Lincoln. But most angles it doesn't. It looks like somebody else. It kind of reminds me a lot of that. What is he? The most interesting man in the world guy. He's like, I don't always have to have wrinkles on my face, but when I do, they're super deep, or something like that. I also didn't like his jacket in the preview pictures, and I still don't like it. It just looks kind of cheap. I don't know.
It's the fabric they used. It just looks... Ugh,
It looks like felt. Maybe it is felt. I don't know. But it's...
It looks like really cheap suede that's like... I don't know. It's just not very nice.
Yeah, I'm just not impressed with this figure. I love their two pet walkers. Like I said, I love their Jon Snow from Game of Thrones and their Tyrion Lannister. I thought they were really awesome. But this one I just don't think's right. And they have the preview pictures of Merle Dixon coming up from The Walking Dead, and he looks spot on. Like his face looks perfect. But this Rick just doesn't. I mean, I'm not saying the figure is horrible. It's just a little disappointing to me. For 160 whatever he was, I'd rather it be a little more closer to his likeness. Now, I will say that I think Andrew Lincoln has a tough face to get right. Something about his face is just hard because McFarlane has trouble. Like, they do the scans of the actors, and still the face is off a lot on their Rick Grimes figures.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Daryl's face, but it still just seems like... I think it's just the shape of his face in general, that narrowness.
The 10-inch Rick that McFarlane made, I don't think looked right. But the 10-inch Daryl, I thought looked right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think Andrew Lincoln's even more difficult than Daryl. But let's look at his face a little closer. So, I do like the skin. Like, the skin's all blemishy looking. Looks realistic, sort of in a way like Hot Toys does it. The little cuts on his face look cool. He's got some gloss in his eyes. I don't know. Like, the hair's not too bad. Yeah, I don't know. This is something wrong. They did something wrong with the beard. Maybe they should have made it stick out more. I don't know.
I think part of it is the shading. How it, like, it's lighter, like it's blending, like, you know what I mean? Like, it looks like you can see his skin through it where it should be thicker.
Yeah, that could be it. Maybe if it was thicker, it would look better.
It was painted darker.
But, I mean, if you look at pictures of him, they've got a lot of his features in there. Like that, the shape of his nose, that looks right.
Mm-hmm. They even have that blemish right by his beard.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, that, yeah.
It's like a mole or something.
They got the wrinkles in the right spot, it seems like. But it just, something just isn't working for me. Seems like his neck's pretty damn plain, too.
Is his nose really that big?
He has kind of a big nose.
I guess I just never noticed. So I figure his nose looks humongous.
Yeah. I like that blood spot there.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, they should have did a little more in his neck. It's just, there's nothing there. It looks too clean.
They just made the head and stuck it on a random body. Like,
yeah.
That body has no detail to it.
And I was thinking about maybe seeing if I could find a cheap body that might not have as long of legs. I don't know how you'd know. So that makes it kind of difficult. If the legs are long enough or short enough. Yeah, his legs just, they're too damn long. But there's also lots of custom Rick Grimes 6-scale heads on eBay and stuff like that. And none of them are that great. There's some that are close, like there's this screaming head that I think it looks more like Abraham Lincoln. I think it looks more like Andrew Lincoln. But it's screaming. He doesn't do that very much. So I don't know if I really want that one or not. And here's the jacket. Got kind of like oversized zippers. Kind of wish they would have just sculpted it into zippers and not made them real zippers because they're just too big. It's not that big a deal though. But yeah, I just don't like this material. I don't even like touching it. It feels so weird.
It does seem like the wear on the different pieces of clothing is not very consistent.
And his pants are...
His pants are all torn up. His shirt just looks like he was playing in fresh cut grass. He's got green on there. And the jacket has a dirty collar, and that's it.
Yeah.
And the wear on the jeans I don't think is very good. They did a way better job on the walkers. Because on this, especially, like, look at his butt. Look at these random holes in his butt. Why? Why does he have a flower of holes on his butt cheek?
I don't know. Well, pant wear doesn't bother me as much as everything else, though. I do like the dirt spots and everything.
Well, I'm just comparing them, like, in comparison to the walkers. They did such a good job on their jeans and underoos.
Yeah.
And the backpacks. Like, it all looks really good. And on here, I'm just not impressed.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with... Like, I was impressed by their other figures. This one doesn't impress me. Then you get down to his boots, and they're just kind of...
Boots aren't that bad.
They're alright. I don't know.
I mean, they're just cowboy boots.
Yeah. They're okay. I like the bottoms. They look believable. And his belt. His belt seems a little too dusty looking or something.
It looks like rubber.
It does.
It doesn't look like a belt. It looks like a rubber toy belt.
But still, that's another thing that's not that big a deal to me. I like the sheath.
Yeah, that looks good.
I like that they put actual wrapping on the handle instead of just made in a red plastic handle. And it looks like metal. It's plastic, but it really looks like metal the way they painted it. It looks really cool. Even they got these tiny little jagged edge there, whatever you call that.
Serrated.
Yeah. In the sharp part of the blade. I really like the machete. And there's his revolver in his holster.
And gun revolver.
And you can just pop it out like that. And this is pretty well done. Oh, I didn't even notice that before. You can spin this.
That's pretty cool.
I messed with this earlier, I mean a couple days ago, and you actually see the bullets in there too. I like that. So the gun's pretty good. I like that a lot. And here is his AK. At least I'm calling it an AK. It looks like an AK. And it is really well done. I really like the scratches and markups on the black part and the brown part. And it comes with a real strap. And they hook on right there. And I guess right there is what it showed on a picture we looked up. But yeah, I think the gun looks awesome. And it comes with 3 extra hands. The hands we got now are just the relaxed hands. But he's also got this left hand meant for holding something. Then a right hand meant for holding something. And a trigger finger for his right arm. Right hand. Whatever. His right arm hand.
His right hand arm.
Shut up. So there he is holding his gun. Now that looks good. He holds the gun really well. I really like how the finger goes into the trigger area, whatever you call that. Really good. Although I guess he should be holding onto the handle a little more. But still, I like it. I think that looks cool. He's like...
That's why he's got that big nose.
Yep. Can he sniff the end of it?
Oops.
And there he is holding an AK. Oh, that's cool. Only thing that bugs me is this wants to flap open when he's holding it. Kind of twist it. But still, it looks pretty damn cool. I like it a lot. And there's Rick with his machete. And I really like it with his machete in his hand. That looks really cool. Looks like he's gonna kill some Gareth. From the Terminus people. Cannibals. Dickheads.
Girth.
Girth. Gonna kill some Girth.
Chuck off, you big old dick.
Like the one is Jason Voorhees impersonation. Yeah, I love him with the... I might end up displaying him with that. I'm used to seeing him with his revolver, but I really like the way he looks with this machete. He looks so cool.
Should name his machete Mandy.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because Lucio.
Oh.
I know, it should be Roxanne! You don't have to put on the red wrap.
I don't know if she, I don't know if he still has his machete. I haven't seen it in a while.
Shh. Be quiet. You're ruining my fantasy.
Now he's gotta sniff this.
You have a red machete and call it Roxanne. That would probably rip his nose up.
He's just lightly rubbing it.
On the serration.
Oh.
And then his nostrils just start gushing blood.
But he just keeps squinting while it happens.
Blood pouring out his face. That's what really happened. He didn't bite those guys' throats out. He just rubbed his nosebleed all over them.
Squint. Well, that's all of his accessories. Except I didn't put all the hands in, but whatever.
His jacket looks super fancy right now. It's
Yeah.
sticking out.
You can take the jacket off, but I don't recommend it because his arms are not meant to be seen. But there's his arms out of the jacket. They're not painted or anything, so I really don't think they're meant to be seen. He's meant to keep the jacket on. But if you really want to take the jacket off, go ahead. I don't give a shit what you do.
It's your funeral.
Exactly. And you can also zip the jacket up. It is a working zipper. So that's cool that you can do that. And it actually does make him look a little different when it's zipped up. So I think I prefer it unzipped, but it's a cool option if you want to do that. It is a little hard to get the zipper started. You gotta make sure you get it in the right spot or you'll probably have it going up wrong. It's kind of hard to unzip too. There we go. Yeah, his one thing that annoys me is his shirt's always popping up, and you see his belly. Woo! Look at that.
That's hot.
Also, don't pull his pant legs up because you'll be scarred for life. But I'm gonna do it and scar you.
Look at them lily white legs.
He's been shaving those, waxing them. But that's not something that I consider a problem in any way. You're not really supposed to see Rick's legs.
Yeah, it's not like he runs around in shorts.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny. That's the only reason I showed it.
I like his belly shirt. And his little string sticking out of his pants, too.
There we go. Hi, guys. Hey, Carl. Carl. Carl, look at my belly, Carl. Carl, where's my belly button? Carl, you took my belly button while I slept. Oh yeah, we almost forgot to show the back of his belt. Because he's got some pouches that don't close very well. See this? Why do they even make that openable? Snap closed, damn it. And I think these unsnap too, but I ain't messing with them. Doesn't really matter because it's always covered up, but... And now it is time for... Articulation! Okay, let's start with his head, because that's where I start. He has 2 points of articulation up at the top of his neck and down at the bottom. So you can move his neck around like that.
That's creepy. I can see down into his neck crack.
Ooh. And up at the top, it's harder to move the one at the top. It's more for spinning, I guess. Then there's some crazy stuff going on underneath of here, but it's hard to see. But there's a lot of articulation at the shoulder, like more than the average action figure. So that's pretty cool. The jacket kind of wants to hinder it, but you just gotta adjust it as you move it. And he's got, you can spin there too. Then he's got double jointed elbows, so You could really make him touch his face and stuff. Just notice his hands seem like they should be painted a little better. And at the wrist, you could spin, and also there's a hinge joint that could turn around. To the torso, you can see that you can spin there. Actually, I think you can spin there and there. Yep. You can lean forward, backwards.
Stick the booty out.
Yeah.
Look how dirty his crotch is. What the fuck? Why is his crotch so dirty?
They can do a split. Kick out. Can't really go back very far. Then I can spin up the thigh. Double jointed knees, I'm assuming. Yeah. Double jointed knees. Goes to about there. Then at the ankles, it could spin. It seems like it goes back and forward a little bit, but not much. So that's it for articulation, and it is really good. Really good articulation on this guy. I don't know if it's working for you people watching, but at the angle his head and stuff is right now, he's looking a lot like Andrew Lincoln to me. But I've noticed that if I stare at him longer and longer, it starts to look more like him to me. For some reason. Yeah, there's a walker chewing on his shoulder. Trying to. He doesn't.
He's just rubbing on it.
You don't have a lower jaw, so you can't bite. So there's Rick to the only other two Walking Dead figures that Threezero's made so far. Jones Pet Walkers.
Who are fucking awesome!
Yeah, they are.
I love them.
And strangely, they made these first, which seems like the craziest thing to do.
And no Michonne?
Nope.
Which seems even weirder.
And even if you're going to do a walker, wouldn't you pick like a walker that can actually be a threat instead of just pet walkers? Ah!
They're pretty cool looking though.
They are. I really like them. It seems like an odd choice.
They need to make a Michonne to go with them.
Oh, yeah. We were just saying it.
No, but like seriously, do it.
Yeah.
Do it!
So, you can have Rick fight them, I guess. But they're not going to be much of a problem. They can't bite him or grab him, so it's going to be an easy fight. So there's Rick next to the Game of Thrones. Tyrion and Jon Snow, also made by Threezero. And I think they both have really good likenesses, especially Tyrion.
Yeah.
I think it looks perfect on his face. Jon Snow's, I think, is almost perfect. Something's not perfect, but...
It's his eyebrows, I'm telling you.
Maybe. But he's really close. But I don't think Rick is as close, unfortunately. And there's Rick next to the Hot Toys Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, based on Chris Pratt. I just want to show Hot Toys next to him. I think that looks pretty much perfect for Chris Pratt. Maybe not 100% perfect, but it's pretty damn close.
You know what I just noticed?
What?
His legs are the same length, but they don't look fucking weird on him.
Yeah, I don't know why. It must be something to do with Rick's pants. They just look so straight or something. I don't know.
Well, he does wear cowboy jeans.
Yeah. I think it just looks weird with the figure.
Yeah.
And there's Rick next to his girlfriend Michonne with her katana. There's Rick next to another Hot Toys figure that I think the likeness is damn near perfect on, and that's Rey from Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Okay, so I don't think this figure is horrible or anything. I think it has some good qualities to it, but it has a lot of problems that really disappoint me. Like, the likeness I think is off. I think his jacket is kind of meh. I think his legs look too long with those pants. Problems. Other problems are like minor.
I would say on a scale of to whoopee that he's an eh.
Yeah, for the price he is at least. If you bought this for like $50, I'd say, well, that's a pretty good $50 purchase there.
You bought it for $10, I'd be like, whoa,
Well,
that's amazing.
that's getting a little crazy. But his weapons are really nice. I really like them. All three of them, they look awesome. But, yeah, I don't know. I've seen some people say they love this figure, think it's amazing. So I guess it's just your opinion on this one. I don't know. My opinion is it's just okay.
Well, there's a lot of people that are into like getting the 6-scale bodies and making people out of pieces, and most of the ones I see I think look like shit.
Yeah, they don't.
So the people that are into that I probably would never agree with.
This one I would say is closer than most of the ones I've seen. But still, paying that price, I would like it to be like from an actual company, legit company. I would like it to look a little closer to him. But like we said earlier, I think his face, something about it is just difficult to get.
I really think it's the beard. The beard is wrong.
Well, you could be right. Whoa! It's falling. I also really like the articulation on this figure. That is also really good on this. But
I like the design of the jacket. I just think they picked a shitty fabric.
yeah, they should have picked something else. This Mischief G. Thanks for watching and goodbye. Coral. I'm gonna kill you in your sleep, Coral. What do you think of that, Coral? I'll kill you in your sleep as soon as your eyes close. See this? Coral. Well, this looks like the spot.
Hey man, this is Carl Grimes and my dad's Rick Grimes. If you don't watch some of them other videos there, by clicking on the picture, my dad's gonna bite out your throat. What do you think of that, you asshole? Also, you should probably